Hey, we're back for another season of When Marriage and Purpose Collide.
We're here to inspire and encourage Christian singles who are striving to date with a desire and purpose for marriage.
We will provide you with thought-provoking hot topics that not only challenge your thinking, but can encourage you in your single season.
We speak about topics like this all the time. We're just taking you along for the ride.
So sit back and join us. On to the episode. What's up, y'all? We back for another episode. Come back to another episode. Did you review the last episode? Did you share?
We got polls.
The last episode, cause you know, we was on a roll. Welcome back to another episode of When Marriage
And Purpose
Collide,
the podcast.
We're back.
I'm sorry,
And we're here. How you doing, babe? How's life?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I've been chilling all day today.
No, you haven't.
Oh,
You're in church. You wasn't chilling in church.
No, I wasn't chilling in church. I was actually struggling in church because I was praising and stuff. But then soon later, when we hit that prayer, oh gosh.
You're staying up late. That's why.
Wasn't that late?
Stayed up late.
That wasn't that late.
That's why, though. If you didn't stay up late, you wouldn't have been.
That's true.
But also, it depends, because just sometimes depending on how sermons go.
True.
With air and it feels good and you're comfortable.
I was comfortable.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, good for me too. I took a nap.
Yeah. How was your day?
That was also nice. I mean, like, you didn't even ask me. I asked you. You didn't even ask me. See.
There you go.
People able to see what you like.
No, because you didn't give me a moment to breathe. It takes a minute to roll up into the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I saw today? I know this is totally not, but I want to try it. Totally not what we're talking about today. Is the watermelon fruit roll up and tahini. Have you seen that?
No.
It looks really good. So it's like you get watermelon, you cut it up. You don't cut it up. You cut it to where the rind is still there. I have to show you. And then you place it on a stick and you place it inside a bowl because you got to put sauce and stuff over it so it won't fall over. But anyway, so you wrap the watermelon with fruit roll up. Then you put before you put never seen this, but you put the tahini chili sauce or the sauce on it,
mm-hmm.
and you spread it all the way around, and then you put the actual tahini powder on it.
That sounds like a lot.
It looks good though. So I sent this to one of my friends and we're going to see. We're going to try it. We might be on the toilet afterwards, but it does not matter because this is an experience.
Yeah, you're going to have an experience.
And we want to make sure to do this. So y'all stay tuned and see if this is going to happen. I think you should try it.
Huh?
I think you should. Ain't no huh, you heard me. Huh?
Huh?
Anyway, so that was something I found that was going to be good. But anyway, we do a segment called what?
Confessions.
This is your confession.
Confessionals.
Say, hey,
like ills at the end of it.
Confessionals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Confessions. So we start off with a segment about just how we feeling. It's true, just honest, just about things that you probably never would have known about us. So, the one I have is, it's a little bit of a troubling sometimes, making new friends.
Oh.
It's hard. As women, adult women, making new friends is really hard. Why? Because it's a whole process. And you got to start off again with the commonalities. You got to see if you gel well. Then you got to ask all the questions. Then you got to actually start the friendship, and then you got to stay in it. So it's a whole thing, and it's hard.
Not for me, although I don't have many friends, but I can make friends.
You can't make friends. I ain't never seen you make a friend.
It'd be mad easy too.
Because you let people talk to you. You let people be your
like
friend.
Comic books. I like comic books. Are we best friends now? That's it.
But y'all don't do nothing.
So?
That's not
That's why it's hard for y'all,
But
because
we
y'all
have
got
to
to
do
do
something.
something.
Yes, it's the whole thing.
Men don't have to do nothing.
We got to be social. We got to, okay, when we going out, what we doing? When we eating brunch, when we going to get this and that, you know, what you like. You want to go shopping together? You want to go get clothes?
I'll be having a full-blown relationship.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's hard to do it. Like, if it was like that, of course it's easy.
Exactly.
If it was like, hey,
that's all we need.
I like sundresses, you like sundresses.
No,
Hey.
that's all we need. And we be the bestest friends.
But then I don't think it's a true friendship, though.
Yes, it is.
Well, how do y'all connect with one another?
With whatever we're just connecting with.
Like,
I got plenty of video game friends. We connect all the time.
Yeah, but y'all don't talk about nothing but
they know my kids. Okay. They ask questions about you.
What you be telling them?
Oh, she upstairs.
Oh, that's all they be saying?
Yeah, they don't need
my friends be asking more questions than that.
I know.
That's how I know we. Yeah. So tell me, when did he say that he loved you? That's how my friendships are.
Hey man, how the kids going? Oh, they doing pretty good. Him in the background. But all right, let's go ahead and do this mission real quick.
We be getting deep when it comes to that. Well, so how does he handle when you? I'm like, okay, so hold on.
Well, there's other friend that you ask me every time, like, oh, Dre, like, who is Dre? Like,
I still don't have to get in my mind.
You ain't seen him not one time in your life.
Not a time. Not a time.
I seen him because I used to work with him, and I mean, technically, we still in the same craft. But,
craft.
Yeah, that's postal talk.
Okay, I was like, craft. Y'all make crafts? Okay.
But we usually play the game all the time, text each other, whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a boy.
So that's a thing. That I was just say it's difficult. And if you agree, please let me know, because it's a thing with us.
Ain't that hard.
It's been talked about.
Like I said, we get one thing and like, yeah, that's my boy right there.
Especially if it
don't even matter at age either, because he's 50.
Is he?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
My confession.
Yeah, what's your confession?
I restarted posting my video game clips and editing skills on my TikTok.
On this, how long have you had TikTok, babe?
A very long time.
How long would you say? Just give a number. 3 years? 2 years? How long has it been out?
I don't know, about 3.
You started TikTok before I did.
Yeah, about 3.
Okay.
Maybe. I think
2020,
it was
probably.
When we got here. Yeah.
Yep. And so you was on TikTok, and this is your third video you posted.
My third video. And what's crazy is every time I post something, it be doing numbers. Mm-hmm. Not big numbers, but big for me.
And so seeing it, TikTok is captures those better than Facebook.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Oh, do you want to tell people what you post?
What on TikTok? Mm-hmm. It was Call of Duty. So anybody play Call of Duty, you can look at my TikTok. I'll put it somewhere. I don't know if I'll put the actual video because this ain't that. But I did some editing skills. People loved it. The first one was like 200 views. Mm-hmm. This one that I did that I ain't posted in a very long time did like 800. Mm-hmm. And I just posted another one today, and it did another 2.
Yeah. So it's just it's slowly going, but it's like now you're just putting yourself out there.
Yeah. Which I'll probably end up doing what I did before. Just like, I'm done.
Yeah, and you come back in a year.
Come back in a year.
And then there you go.
Yep. I don't know what I just felt like. It was like, you know what? I felt real creative. So I was like, let me go ahead and edit some stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what it was, right?
What was it?
My TV broke. So I was just like, let me be creative.
That is true. Because you probably wouldn't have did all that.
I was thinking about going downstairs and playing, but I don't feel like doing all that right now.
Oh, on the projector?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll do that later. Anyway.
So today we are talking about healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
Yeah, we talk about healthy boundaries and setting boundaries, not only in romantic relationships, but in just relationships, period. Mm-hmm. And how hard that is. Making friends is hard, but setting boundaries with friends and people that you love that are close to are also hard. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that and what that means. And then we're going to try to talk about like setting boundaries when, you know, as a married couple, what does that look like? Like, how do you really with this is like how we tend to pour out so much to people and what that looks like and how we can protect ourselves and how you intentionally actually protecting that other person, because sometimes we enable people.
Yeah.
Sometimes depending on what we do. So I didn't think about it that way until just said something right now. But and what happens when we make ourselves vulnerable? I know vulnerability is huge right now. When we're talking about mental health and how we should always be vulnerable, transparent with people and all the things, but how do you even do that? You know? And so I think later on, I think this would be a good topic to kind of bring up to a therapist to come on and talk about this. But we just gonna chat about it here because that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know? We're going to just give our points. This is how we talk on a normal basis. This is what the show is all about. Thank y'all for tuning in. So, did you want to play the video first?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and make sure y'all can hear this. Oh, should I give a...
You can.
Basically, this is about people pouring into a relationship and then acting like they need an award for doing so.
Yeah.
Which I've been in that boat. I don't know if I want an award. I just I felt bad. Anyway, we'll get into that once it plays. Gosh.
You don't get no extra credit points on your relationship resume for trying to save somebody. And a lot of folks feel like they're a good partner because they done tried to save somebody and failed. You know what I'm saying? You done stood by somebody who was on trash, and you put all this work in to stand next to this person who was on BS, and like that's what you use to boost your resume. Like, oh no, like no, bro, like you don't get extra credit for that. You don't get extra credit for letting somebody wear you down. You don't get extra credit for letting somebody take you through the mud. You don't get extra credit for not standing up for yourself and saying you was a rider. That's not how this works, bro. You get credit for being healthy in the relationship with yourself and showing up to other relationships healthy. Until it's that, go home and do your work. Like, it's okay. It's okay to take some time out. Like everybody be saying the dating pool got piss in it. It's a shortage. Okay, get out the pool. Go hit the shower. Go home.
It's the winner.
You feel me? Don't sit in the pool. Go hit the shower. Take your ass home. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that homework.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
So, so it was a good. I mean, so I'm kind of trying to process it. Yeah, basically how we enter into relationships, and it's like a trophy, like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
That we feel we get because we've gone through something. I know. Just I think I've thinking of way back when feeling like. And this might not be it. This might not. It's just something that came to my mind. How we feel that we've leveled up a guy.
Oh yeah.
And we felt good about that. Like
yeah,
when we left them,
I could build him up.
Yeah, when we left them, so we're like, man, I poured into you. I did all the things. I invested in you. I dreamed for you. I gave you the vision. I gave you money to do this, that, and the other. And now you leave me, and then you go with somebody else with the new version of yourself. And so for us, we feel like that's a reward. Like put that that's a trophy, put that over here to say that I did that for you. And then you take that to other relationships.
Well, I build them up so I could do the same for you.
Yeah, I built them up.
I'm sure you ain't gonna say that,
but it's the feeling you get. It's that esteem, that self-esteem boost, false self-esteem boost. That you get for yourself because you're like, I'm able to do that. And so, I mean, or it could be also not a boost, I should say. I guess it could be also like you don't want to enter into another relationship because you invested so much in somebody else.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of time and energy.
I don't want to do that no more.
What? I'm good.
Which there's a healthy boundary again of all of that.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts?
It reminds me of a time. Anyway, that I once knew. No, one of my stories. I did get into, which wasn't a relationship for me. It was more just like we was cool. Although she wanted a relationship, and I was just like, nah. But I felt bad, and this, if you watch other episodes that we had, I kind of brought this up a little bit. She's the one I kicked out the car. But anyway, I felt bad for her kids. So I did what I could to help her in order for her to help her kids, like take her back and forth to work, pick her up whenever she needed to go to the grocery store, that kind of stuff. Although I never spent time with the kids. So it was more like, I feel bad because your situation is terrible, and I want to do what I can, but also get benefits out of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. My boundaries was not there, and I needed some.
What boundaries did you not have?
And
what'd you do that?
My time boundaries, space boundaries. Like some of the stuff I should have been like, you know what, this ain't gonna work, because it's like you not doing anything to better yourself, and you're more just riding on whatever help I'm giving you.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then on top of that, kind of like have the nerve to say, hey, you have to do this. No, I don't. That's what triggered me. I'm like, I don't have to do this. I'm not the type to rub in your face and say, hey, those aren't not my kids, but at the same time, I'm like passionate enough to see that your kids need help, and I feel bad for them because of what you're doing or your decisions. And I'm trying to help you, and you're not trying to help yourself.
So it sounds like it was a sense of entitlement on her.
Oh yeah,
because of maybe what she's got in the past too. So you were just another, let's say, notch in the belt,
pretty much,
of somebody else that she can use to get further.
Oh yeah,
and that's and I think that's how the other person can get manipulated. How you could have gotten manipulated. How people get manipulated if because people can make that person feel guilty.
Yeah.
Or say, this is, you're gonna help me, you're gonna build me, this is what you got, this is what you're gonna do for us, come on, let's.
And then had an attitude about every single thing, which was that didn't make no sense.
So on top of all of that, still had an attitude with that.
Yeah. Side note though, let me give you a story into that. It has something to do with this, but not. Remember one time she asked me to take her over to her baby daddy's house because her kid was over there. She wanted to go get him. Come to find out, that wasn't true. I mean, the kid was over there, but she wasn't over there for the kid because she heard that baby dad was messing with some girls, so she went aside.
You took her there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I didn't know what you meant.
It was part of the normal routine. Oh, get your kid, cool.
Okay, so you take her over there.
Nope, had another girl over there. I guess she felt jealous about it, which I'm like, I don't care as long as I go home. She broke the man's doors down and tried to get into the other room, and the mama came out to come and get me.
Where was you? Oh, you was in the car?
I was in the car chilling. And mama came out, you need to get her. So I go in there. I'm holding her down. I had to take her to the bathroom. She over tearing the bathroom up. So I'm standing in the doorway. I let her go, and she's tearing the bathroom up. I mean, mirrors and sinks.
Crazy.
Going at it. And then the police show up, and it was like, so like he didn't even get to finish this question. He's like, so, and then she like pushed the back of my head. I just said, what? I moved. He pushed me out the way. And then, about 4 or 5 cops in the bathroom tackling her. The funniest part for me was they was dragging her away, and she was like, she was looking at me. It was like, help me. Nah.
Was that the last time was that the final time you met?
One of the final times. It wasn't the final time.
So how long was you in a relationship with her?
See, you said relationship. Who was in a relationship?
It was a relationship.
Anyway,
it was a situation.
It was a situationship. There we go.
How long was you in the situationship for?
6, 7 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez Louise, Batman.
That's what I said. I had to set my boundaries to the point where I was just like, you know what? I think when I felt like my daddy this one time, man, I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah. It was time.
I think I'm done. I am done.
And I think it's because you saw so much in that, and you saw the future of like what that could be if you were to stay.
More like I didn't really care what was happening. At one point, I became somebody I wasn't. I didn't want to be. That's basically what happened.
That says a lot too. I think when you know how they say, "Man, you've changed," and when we get into relationships, and sometimes a change that's not for the best.
Yeah.
And so, and then that person can literally change you. I think that's what we don't realize.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Although That's why friends and family, they wasn't helping because they liked that side of me. I was like, I don't like this side of me because I'm supposed to be nice, not like this.
Oh, they want to see you get
more the
aggressive or assertive, or I can't find the word right now.
All that aggressive, assertive, don't care, that it was not healthy for me because I was like, this ain't me. I'm usually a nice guy. I was not nice.
Yeah. I think the way it wasn't, of course, I don't have stories like that. That's why you always come with the stories. As far as when it comes to that, I think the only time I can say that I did not set a healthy boundary for myself it wasn't even a situationship. It was when, maybe a couple cases where, but one is where I just didn't end it. Like I let it go, even though I was uncomfortable with it.
Leaving it open-ended,
and I'm expecting or putting a false sense of commitment on the relationship or situationship. Just called it. Just said, okay, we are going to be together in my mind.
Yeah,
and we not even seeing each other on a regular basis. He ain't said nothing about we together. Didn't make no. We talk not consistently, but because I had I put something in my brain. I imagined this. It sounds like he's a great guy. We could possibly have a future together. All these things I put in my mind. And so I think there is a relationships that we have that are like even a relationship where you see the other person, but sometimes, and I could say, well, it probably happens with men too, but I think with women, when we get a guy we like, and we finally think like this is the one because we've been waiting for so long, we attach ourselves to this guy.
Yeah.
And they don't have to have any commitment at all, but we're like, oh, but I think he's it.
Yeah,
so you make him
it. Thinking nothing of you.
Yeah, you make him it. You make him the thing. And so then I could see myself if I didn't stop it, if something major happened to where it was like okay, we had to stop. But if that didn't happen, I still would have been caught up in a cycle of trying to wait for him to change, to be there, to do all that. I mean, he was like, he told me he didn't have no money. He didn't have no car. He didn't know what was going on with his life. He was living with his mom. He was trying to help out family. And I'm here still trying to build something with him. Like, and he said he's not ready for nothing. And I'm up here trying.
I could change your mind.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what was I doing? Not saying nothing, not putting my expectations out there. And so, yeah, that's something I think that we do to kind of get, try to go. But okay, so back to that video though, do you feel like hey, it's your girl Lucretia Haley, speaker, author, and purpose and relationship coach. Can I speak to you for a bit? When it comes to relationships, finances, career switches, life transitions, and dealing with you, it does seem like a ton of work. You've been struggling with your next move in life or hitting a season of unknown, and some of you may feel like you are broken beyond repair, and it's gotten a little chaotic. Can I tell you something? Life will always be filled with chaos. You cannot run away from what is going on in this world and what you are hit with. You can control how purposeful you are once you wake up in the morning and start your day. It is a choice. Maybe in your prayer time and reflection, God has been telling you exactly what to do, and you've still been stagnant. Or maybe you just don't even know where to start. In Finding Purpose Within the Chaos, 14-day journal workbook, you will hit 14 target areas in your life that may be keeping you from pressing go. Whether you are in these dating streets, needing to set boundaries at work, mending close relationships with close friends or relatives, or even overcoming procrastination, it's time to put in the work and take action. Let me help you with Finding Purpose Within the Chaos. It's now available on Amazon. Link in the description. Love y'all. Bye. Like you were just going through the motions of just being there.
And I should have known when she was burning every bridge she had. I mean, every bridge.
And you was like, this is not.
Right. And then started burning bridges on with my family. I'm like, look, you burning every single bridge you get on.
This can't. You gonna this bridge is burned right now.
Mine is on fire. I was just like, hey, you over here messing with my family, it's a wrap.
Yeah. I think we have a natural ability, a lot of us sometimes, to care too much.
Oh yeah.
And to want to be there for people and to just be pulled to that person. So it's definitely hard to break away.
Yeah.
From situations like that, especially if you see you're helping them and they say they're going to be better or this is going to help them get further, and you're like, well, sounds good. So I'm gonna be there for you.
Hey,
kind of thing.
Ladies, if you got somebody that's in your friend zone that's willing to help you out all the time and stuff, let them go. Gosh.
If you got somebody in your friend zone
that's helping you out all the time.
Oh, I see.
And you know they want a relationship, let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't keep calling them. Let them go.
Yeah, especially if you keep putting them in the friend zone and you know they want a relationship.
Because you're hurting yourself because one, obviously you're probably a good dude trying to help you out, and you probably think, oh, this is weird because he's trying to help me out. No, you just kind-hearted, and you leading them on.
Yep.
Let him go.
Yeah.
So he could be happy.
Yep.
Sure, he probably gonna blow your phone up, but let him go.
Sometimes those are the ones you probably was supposed to be with from jump.
That's why I said let him go, because obviously you don't want him.
Yep.
Let somebody else have him.
Note to self, ladies.
A lot of times, look in your friend zone. No, let them friends go.
Let them friends go.
Stick with your toxic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting toxic myself. Find God.
Find God. Find God. Yeah, we also talk about self-awareness too, but self-awareness I think comes with a cost. So like when we talk about self-awareness, it's like the ability to also like focus on yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your emotions, and how they align with eternal standards. And sometimes what happens is there's a lot of people out there that don't have that self-awareness. So they get stuck in situations like that. I think I'm not a therapist and I don't have data on this, but I think people who are more self-aware and practice the spirit of discernment it's easier to not be in situations like this because you're able to see miles away. You're seeing that person. You're like, I see something.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at yourself too.
That usually comes with either one experience or somebody taught you. Yeah. And a lot of times, I think the reason why I was in that kind of thing because nobody really taught me. It was more like I needed to experience something like that in order to
know what not to do.
Yeah, to know what not to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, parents could have taught me, but they was doing their own thing. And then I could have family do that, but usually they just tell you no, but there's no experience behind it. Why you tell me no? You just saying no.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't tell you the reason why it's a no.
Right. So my hard-headed self was just like, I'm gonna go through it anyway. I ain't never been through nothing like this. Now it's like, well, I know not to do that no more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true right there. Like I think we tend to put ourselves in situations just to say we got experience, and that's probably what dude was talking about.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Where we like, I've never had this experience before. Let me just throw myself in there and just go ahead and get this badge of honor that I went through something.
Like you're a Boy Scout. Let me get this badge real quick. Wilderness badge.
I went through a toxic relationship. Like I feel like I went through a toxic relationship too. I had a narcissist in my life too.
Yeah, well, y'all got mad awards on your vest.
Yeah, it's like, okay, but now, like he said, go do the work, do the homework and get healthy so you won't be in relationships like this.
Yep.
Like, we feel like we always have to go through the mud in order to get through something. Like, you don't have to do all of that. I'm not about struggle love.
Like you said, go take a shower. That's exactly what I was like. You know what? I'm done. Wash my hands on this.
Yep. So it's all about we're gonna get to like how you can probably set boundaries for yourself. But this is a whole plethora of things, of course, to talk about when it comes to romantic, because it's just protecting yourself. If you start knowing who you are, then you'll be able to understand how to really set those boundaries.
Yeah.
And what that looks like and how you won't get manipulated and whatever, you know.
Well, I can tell you my process. What I ended up doing, I basically became selfish.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way. I still
What you
helped
mean as
out.
far as what happened as a? Oh, okay. No, keep talking. You good?
Saying,
No, I was like, I didn't. I thought you were going the other direction.
I was about to
with it.
lift off with the rolling.
I thought you was going to the opposite direction. I was like, wait a minute. I thought what you just said in the process. Okay, go ahead.
All right. But no, I became selfish, but in a, like I said, in a good way, where I was like, you know what? God is selfish with us. So I'm going to be selfish with God. So I'm going to go that route because I ain't never been that route. Still have that mindset. I ain't never been that route. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to be selfish with God. So I ended up being selfish with my time, with my energy, with my mind. And I was just like, I'm going to put it towards God. And then if, people's like, hey, I want you to do this and this, I will sit there and think about it and be like, you know what? I'm going to put God in me first. And if it's not worth my time, I'm not going to do it. Like, because there's been plenty of times where everybody's using my help so much where it came to a point where I need help and nobody was able to do nothing. So
you were just like, I need to go back to God.
I'm gonna not go back to God. I went all the way to God.
All the way.
Like, let me go do this.
Surrender.
Because this other stuff ain't working.
Yeah.
I know I got a good heart and pouring everybody, and ain't nothing being poured in.
And that's the thing too. I think with a lot of people who, I'm talking about spiritual gifts. One of your spiritual gifts that I believe was high was serving.
Yep.
On there. And so I can see how that translates in different areas of your life, or that could translate in different areas of your life.
So I'm serving. And like, hey, you know what? I think I need a little service. I can't help you there. All them years I've been helping you, you can't help once.
People do that.
And a lot of times when I ask for help, it's not even like big, because usually big I'll take on myself. But if it's something small, like, hey, can you come drop me off somewhere? Or my biggest one is where I invite people to my birthday and they live with me and still didn't show up. Like, bro.
At the house or somewhere?
At the house. It wasn't even a destination. We at the house.
At the house.
And y'all didn't even show up at the house.
And y'all live with me.
And y'all live with me. So, sorry, family, but I had to bring that up. Anyway, so I became selfish with my time and God.
Yeah.
And put that time towards God.
That's real.
And that's where my boundaries mostly been. Now it's more like God, family, me.
God, family, me. Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted. I don't know if you want to transition into the other side of outside of romantic, because it's a good transition into the other boundaries that we have with family and friends, because now as married, there's other boundaries we have to set, because now it's like protection mode for me, for the family, for us, what we have going on. So is there a time where you had to set boundaries for us?
Oh yeah.
Healthy ones, that is.
And like I said, God, family, me, because they have to go through me in order to get to y'all.
Yeah.
So I know when our first year and a half, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 incidents where we had to kind of like set a boundary for our parents.
Yeah, both sides.
Love y'all, but we had to. I know it was kind of like, okay, I'm no longer that kid anymore. I know you still showing and teaching, you still can, but without the harsh criticisms.
Yeah.
Like at some point I have to learn or do what you taught me beforehand, and learn that way, like, because I'm not going to be perfect. So neither same thing with you, you're not going to be perfect. So not every time is where it's like, okay, you did this and this and this and you need
and it's called teachable moment when it's not really. It's a criticizable moment. Like,
no, ain't nothing you're doing right now is teaching. It's more like criticizing every move I do.
Yeah.
So I know for me, it came to a point to where I had to basically kind of be a boundary for you from, on my side. And then for you, it came to a point to where I have to be the boundary for you on your side. Because it's like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but I have to be in that right now. I'm no disrespect or anything like that. It's still respectful, but it's just like there's a certain point that now you have to, you have to cross. And usually you just go right in and be fine as the parent, which is cool, but not anymore.
Yeah, I think I remember the moment when that happened, and I think that wasn't the first time, but it was one of the times where my parents, especially my mom, was able to see how you protected my emotions.
Yeah.
And the situation where it was just too much. I couldn't handle it. And you had to step in and say something.
Yeah.
And that was like respect. On the other end, like they saw, okay, wow, like that's huge. If she has him there to protect, that means I know that he's protecting her in other areas. And sometimes, and they, they apologize. Like it was a lot of things that they knew that they were doing that weren't healthy for me, so you have to set that, and I think what couples tend to do sometimes when they are together is that person, or it's no boundaries set, and there was no leave and cleave.
No leave and cleave.
And so they're still stuck to, my parents did this, or they're for me, or family, could be anybody. They're still stuck to that person. They forgot they have somebody else that they married, that now the decisions go through them. Now the errors and the trial goes through them, the decisions, all the things go through them. And it's no longer I have to go to you to get answers anymore.
Or I just have to get up and do, like, no, we have to talk about it first.
Yeah. So I think that was a good thing to know about setting boundaries.
I will also say setting boundaries with kids too, because I got my boundaries up on them because they will cross every single boundary if you don't have none.
Yeah, and it starts early.
Oh man, once they born,
and you just gotta be consistent. Throughout their lives, because it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with
what
kids.
they say, what they call you, what they do to you. Like there's got to be certain like you can still play and stuff like that, but I don't think there should be like no boundaries as far as them trying to be your friend. I can understand that, but the thing is, everybody has friends. Not everybody has parents.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the parent.
Yeah, you got to be the parent in the situation, because somebody got to set the guidelines. Yeah,
because you're not going to be coming up to me and be like, "Hey, DJ." No, fam.
Bruh.
Or bruh. Or what was they call? I think they called me buddy the other day. I'm like, I am not your buddy.
Who called you buddy?
I think it was Lavelle because of TV or something. Wherever
okay. Something.
I was like, I will make sure you don't watch that ever again if you call me buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Right. Hey, buddy. I ain't your buddy.
I ain't your buddy. But no, that's real too. You got to set boundaries with because this world is wild. This world is wild, and they always talk about it starts at home. Sometimes you see how they act in public or with their teachers or whatever, is because more than likely it's something else going on at home that's allowing them to act that way.
Yeah.
So, and you could tell, definitely tell, before you even hit their house. You just tell, you like, okay, you just don't say nothing. You just be quiet.
Kids is wild.
It's wild. But no, so I think also is like we talked about kids, we talked about parents, I would say also with friends, setting boundaries. There's a case where there's a friend who was going through my end and had some hard times, and it was consistent, like, text messages or can you help, or I need this or I need that, and transportation here and there, and you feel pulled to want to do for that person, and it felt hard to say no to.
Yeah.
And so for me, the best thing I could do was to get other people involved to help me make a good decision about it, because we all had friends in the same boat. So I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. Let's all get together and figure this out. And we came to a commonality of how to handle the situation together, as she was our friend together. And so I think that helps too. Like, I think sometimes we feel like we got to do it alone when you might have to go grab some help to figure it out. Not grab, you don't necessarily have to grab help to help solve their problem, but help to be like, okay, what should I do next?
Yeah.
You know, get some wise counsel, get people behind you to figure it out. Because you could really, and that's what I felt like. I don't want to pull myself away from the family. I don't want to pull myself away from finances, our own finances, to take care of her finances. You know, time is a lot, you know, so it's a lot there. And so, and the thing is, it wasn't like this person like she was trying to intentionally do that to us. She was really being safe, knowing that I have family, I had kids, and I had work, a schedule. It's just that and then she didn't put a guilt trip or anything, nothing like that. But then because of that, you feel more pulled, because usually when somebody guilt trips you, you're like, I ain't doing that, that's a guilt trip move. You know, but then because she didn't do that, I felt more compelled to help, because I was like, oh, she's actually being genuine.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes we put ourselves in that situation. And so so yeah, I think that's just something that we do. And so when we talk about healthy boundaries, it's like, why is it so difficult sometimes for us to set it? And so sometimes it's difficult for us to set those boundaries, especially with people that are close to us, is because it requires to actually put ourselves first. Like, we've never had the chance in our lives to actually say yes to us. It was always that we were people pleasing and helping somebody else, you know, and doing for somebody else and getting praise for doing that. So now you're affirmed in helping people all the time. So that's all you know what to do, is to serve somebody, to go stress yourself out over somebody. Like, if you're not stressed out about helping somebody, then you feel like, I'm not doing something right, because I need to be in chaos. Like, you feel like, so you push yourself more towards chaos in order to people please, and then you can never set those boundaries.
You talking to my past self like crazy
Mhm.
right now, because that's exactly,
Yeah.
I was all in the mess. Like, hey, I'm here to help you.
Where is the chaos?
Like, and the thing, my thing is, I used to ignore all the chaos just to help the person. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this has nothing to do with me, but I'm gonna help you. Like, no, yeah, every bit to do with me.
It's like so much going around.
It's so
That's it.
much.
But the tunnel vision, you had tunnel vision on that person.
Let me bring you out of this. I know there's a lot going on. I need help too, but I'm gonna help you get out of it. Like, it came to a point. It's like, you know what? I need help.
Yeah.
Hey, can y'all help me? No. Oh, y'all can't help me. Okay.
You can't help me, but I've helped you the whole time.
You know, let me go to God, because I know you'll help me. Let me get up out of here. Get lifted off in a rescue helicopter.
But another reason why, too, that it's hard to set is because it does require you to know yourself a little bit more. And once you do that, it's like, oh, it's a new version of me. So now I know myself more. So how do I even set it? Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to no more, because now it's like a new you that's popping out. Or you don't know that it's a new you, or you're trying to get there. You don't know how to get there to be able to be confident and set that boundary.
That's what I became selfish. I was like, psh. And they felt it too. They was like, boy, you don't help us no more. No, I do not. Not right now.
I think you still have that trait.
Oh, me not helping?
I mean, in some, you still help.
I still help.
But you still have
well, it's
a sense of I don't know what the word is. I don't know. But,
I can explain it.
Okay.
My help is no longer just help and then that's it. My help now is more, I'm gonna help you, but also help you learn how to not do that again. So if it's like, you know, family member change on oils, like, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to change the oil. So now you know, I'm gonna give you the resources in order for you to get out of there. So then I don't have to put all that time in. Now you know.
Now you know. So you make it more of a learning moment
instead of you just using me.
It's a child coming to the door. So yeah, I think that was good that you teach while you do that. So and sometimes I think we can't set the boundaries because we know that it does or can jeopardize a relationship.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen on the other side after you have the conversation. So it's like, I could lose this person if I say this, especially in a romantic relationship. If it's been going depending on how long it's been going on for, you're like, I know if I say this or if I set this, I could possibly lose it.
Well, and the thing is, yeah, a lot of people are afraid of that loss, the rejection, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, you got to look back when you met them all the way to that point.
Assess.
And it's like how much time and effort you put in,
Mm-hmm.
and how much time and effort did they put in. And if it's minimum, leave, because it's not healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
You doing all this,
Yeah.
all that, all this,
Mm-hmm.
and all they did was give you $20.
Mm-hmm.
Just go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. 'Cause I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
How much have they given? Is it a reciprocation of efforts?
And I get it, because I've always been the type where if I help you, I'm not asking for nothing back, because a lot of times it's because I know I'm not getting nothing back.
Right.
But I'm not asking for something back. And a lot of us get in relationships and we're like, we're not asking for something back. But it's gonna be come to the point to where you just like something. God,
Something.
we're in a relationship, but it feels one-sided.
Yeah.
And mostly it's probably because of the person that's doing all the help. It's
Yeah.
one-sided because they are now enabled.
Yeah, they're
And you
enabled.
enabled them.
And this is why we talk a lot about communicating.
Mm-hmm.
A lot about when you're uncomfortable, when you feel like that. Like you could probably sense it early on in the relationship. You just don't say nothing,
Yep.
or you sweep it under the rug, when actually you could bring it up, and it could save you a lot of time and effort to whether you need to be with this person or they can change. Once you say something, it's a possibility that they can change.
They ain't changing, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can either know whether to leave or
ladies, they ain't changing. All they did was just sweep it under the rug.
It's real.
Only time they change, the only time they change is when something happens. Like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go take a break. Oh, and then that's when they change.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So I think that is something to think about. But then also why it's hard to implement or set boundaries is because it takes practice.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Yes,
it takes practice. And so a lot of times you have to try it.
Yeah.
You got to practice it, look in the mirror, say stuff, like really go through the conversation with somebody else. And before you talk to that person, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not with it. I still have to be like, okay, what should I say to this person? How do I set, because I'm still learning at work how to set boundary, which I feel like I do that very well now. Like I'm able to speak up a lot more and about how I feel about things.
She been
Before it wasn't.
practicing on me.
I've learned that.
Boundaries up with you, bro. You doing?
Yeah, about my time, about what I do, about what I'm not gonna do, that type of stuff. And so it's crucial that you got to do it in every area of your life, and it takes time.
It takes time,
and you get to know yourself. So how do we enforce it? So you had a way of enforcing those boundaries. You said, you know what, it's time to be.
I broke away from basically from everything, and like I said, there's a certain point to where it's okay to be selfish. Yeah. And I'm now, like, I've been saying that for a little bit now, especially when people's been telling me, oh, I did this, and I say it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah,
it's okay. I know a lot of times we hear it's not, don't be selfish, isn't it? Like, no, like
there's times when you can be.
Right. If it's all the stuff we've been talking about and you feel like all these boundaries are down and you feel like you have to help, it's okay to let go and be selfish, but in a good, healthy way.
Yeah.
My way was like, I'm going with God.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be selfish and start drinking. That's all. They ain't gonna help.
Yeah. And I think that is sometimes it's just a safer way to set those boundaries when you do say that I'm going with God with this.
You even do therapy, even if you feel like you don't need it.
And that's what that's the thing too. I think there's ways that, and this might not be the therapy way to go about it, but there's ways that you can distance yourself from people.
Yes.
And not have to say a word about what you're doing. Because sometimes I think we feel like we always have to, I'm leaving. Like I'm going. There's times when you do have to put your foot down and this is my stance and I'm sticking with it. And then there's times when you just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to just stand over here. And I ain't said nothing and they ain't seen you in a while. And that's okay. Because you are doing you're changing, you're making sure you set those boundaries. You want to say something?
No, it's just when you said that, I automatically thought of some people would sit there and leave just to see if that person would miss them.
Oh gosh, manipulation.
Just leave.
And then they come back and they be like, I left. And you didn't say nothing.
And then they go back to using you. Just get out of here.
And so it's like, so it's like you actually have to tear away.
Yeah.
And really, like, you have to go, basically you have to heal yourself in that time. You don't leave and then don't heal nothing.
Yep.
And don't get no work.
I usually say, date yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't date yourself, that means you need to work on yourself.
You mean if you don't have the capacity to date yourself?
Yeah, some people. I said it before. If you don't like yourself, that means you can't date yourself. You need to go back and try to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't like how I look. I don't like.
You don't know
you can always change your look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about plastic surgery, nothing like that, but you can always upgrade your clothes. You know, different hairstyles. If you don't have no hair, go bald. It's okay.
It's to make yourself feel good, not to get people to be like, ooh, ah.
Yeah, it's for you.
Like, it's just like for you to feel like, to feel good about yourself.
Get a new look. If you don't like the librarian look, go for a rock star.
I remember doing that at one point where I changed my hairstyle.
Yeah, do something different. Look, I did something different. I ain't never had this before.
You did that? You were setting boundaries?
No,
I was being selfish.
No, I just. Well. I guess it was in a way because I was more like, well, baldness runs in the family. Let me go ahead and go one big hurrah before it happens.
You don't know, it might not happen.
It might not happen, but at least I tried it.
True. But if you do happen to talk to somebody and you're like trying to set the boundary and it's hard because sometimes it is hard to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just leave, especially if it's sometimes family, you live with them. You know, it's not as easy as to be like, okay, I'm out. You know, kind of thing. It's more of you being assertive but kind, and telling them what's happening and what's going on. I think sometimes we feel like, and I read this on a post where we feel like we have to be harsh with honesty.
Yep.
And so you feel like you have to cut that person in order to get your point across, and you don't have to do all that. You don't got to be harsh. You don't have to cut. And sometimes we do that because of what we learned. That was the only thing we learned with our parents is when they wanted us to get to know something, they was always yelling at us or did something to us to rattle us.
Ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's kind of hard not to yell at them after you repeat it 14 times. Yeah.
But sometimes it was an abuse or it was too much for that person. And where they was like, my way to be honest with you is to be harsh with you.
Straight to harsh.
So no kind, no in love, no in grace.
No, you just have to follow through.
Yes. And so that's one of the things we talk about this a lot and we practice it as much as we can. Sometimes we fail at it, but it's making those I statements. We think that only do the I statements when we're in a relationship that's romantic. No, you could do I statements with other people too in your life. I feel. Why? You know, talk through. You know, you could do the I statements. That's okay.
I do the I statements all the time with people. Well, the only reason is because I'm not good with small talk. So when somebody says, oh, this and this and this, I just usually go with something I related to. And be like, well, yeah. And I catch myself after I had said it. I'm like, dang it, I did an I statement.
You did. Sometimes you gotta let them know you're serious. I don't know. Sometimes we the jokey people or the people who say we doing something and don't do it, but sometimes you gotta let them know that you're serious about this particular thing because you're trying to set your boundaries. So you can't be, I'm just playing. You know, like I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, you did mean it like that.
You did.
That's how you really meant it. So be serious with it. Also saying no without an explanation or apology. Sometimes we do that where we say, I'm sorry, but it's a no. Why has it got to be I'm sorry? Why can't it just be no? I fail at this. I'm that type of person where, because I'm coming out of my people pleasing stage. So I always do the I'm sorry or I apologize, and you ain't got to do all that. If it's a no, it's a no. Or you got to make up an excuse on why it's a no. Oh, I can't go because.
Yeah, it goes along with the seriousness, because if you just say it without the apology, they'll know. They'll be like, oh, this person's serious right now, because they ain't doing their usual, my bad, but like, no, just straight up, like, I'm setting boundaries, I'm leaving. Yeah, that's it. Like, I can't go, I'm not gonna be able to be there.
And if they say why, cause I'm not gonna be there. So
I have other obligations.
I ain't got no obligations. I just don't want to. Don't want to go.
What are you about to do? Nothing.
I remember there was a sketch comedy about that where it was her coworkers and they were going to a party. They're trying to get her to go to a party.
Oh, yeah.
And she stood strong. I'm like, I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Oh, because you have somebody coming in town? They were all making excuses.
No.
So you just going because you don't want to go? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And basically like, that's what I was saying. That's the last part. So I've been learning this. I'm sure you probably still learning how to set boundaries and stuff. It's always ongoing because relationships are always going to be in our lives. So we can't not, okay, I didn't set boundaries. Woo! It's always going to be something where we have to do that because we have kids that are going to grow. We have family members that are going to be in our lives. We got work relationships, we got business partnerships, opportunities, all the stuff. We got to learn how to set those.
Yeah.
So yes. So I do hope you took a lot from this episode of setting healthy boundaries. There's so many places that we could go with this. But we just went this route. We talked about setting boundaries and dating, but we kind of went a little broad on this one. So we might bring a therapist in and talk a little bit more about how to do this.
I'm just hoping people saw this and broke up with whoever and went to God.
Well, there you go.
Set your boundaries.
This is confirmation. Those out there, if you ain't set your boundaries or it's hard to set your boundaries you ain't did it, sometimes your boundary is bye.
Boundary up.
Boundary up. Time to leave, sir or ma'am. So we thank y'all for tuning in on today's episode. Share with somebody that you love, even if you don't love them, just share it.
We got polls.
Oh my gosh, only on Spotify. Quit saying it like that. We got poll, and then you got to set the poll too. You tell them we got polls, and you got to go in there and set the poll.
It's automatic.
Oh, okay.
How do you like the episode?
Yeah. So,
in the comment section, if you put something like a question or like, hey,
you can do a Q&A.
I can make a poll about questions and see what people think about that.
Do a Q&A. We could do that. So go to Spotify. I know Apple, you could do a review too. Mm-hmm. So if you give some stars, give us 5, preferably, because we hope you love us that much. And then send us a message, give us a comment.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for tuning in to When Marriage
and Purpose
Collide,
the podcast.
We out.
Peace. Thank you for tuning into When Marriage and Purpose Collide podcast.
Click on the link in the description to learn a little more about us. Subscribe and send a review on your takeaways or any new insight you have gained in this episode.
See you back here for our next episode. Peace.